Hi, I'm Mike. Welcome to the Farm Wolf. Today I'm going to be doing a video on cutting hay. I'm going to use an International 1086 in a New Holland 488 haybine. I'm going to show you some of the ways that I cut the hay, and I'll explain a little bit about the tractor and about how the haybine works. This is an International 1086. I ran the serial numbers. It's a 1976 model, so one of the first ones that came out. I bought it about 18 years ago. When I bought it, it was in pretty rough shape. I repainted the tractor. I got it at an auction. I didn't pay a lot for it. I painted it. I rebuilt the injector pump and done just little odds and ends. I did have the air conditioner working on it, but a couple years ago it quit again. I changed some components out and I still haven't figured out the problem. So other than that, it's a pretty nice tractor for me. In today's standards of tractor, it's really probably not a very big one. Back in the day, it was a decent size. It does well for me. I mainly just put up hay. That's all I do. So for myself, it's a really good tractor for what I use it for. This tractor is diesel. It's got the International 414 engine, 414 cubic inch. 4-speed transmission. It has high and low range. It has torque amplifier, which means when you have it in the high side, as they call it, of torque, it's direct drive. If you get kind of in a bind where you need more power and you need to slow the tractor down, you can pull the TA back. That is the low side, and that's your torque amplifier. Gives you a little more power. It's got two PTOs, 540 and 1000 RPM. My haybine is 540 PTO, and it works really well for my haybine. This is a New Holland 488 haybine. From the best I can tell, I think it's an early to mid 80s model. How it works, it runs off a drive shaft. The drive shaft comes back here to a gearbox. The gearbox runs some belts and chains. There's a belt that runs down to the wobble box. The wobble box has a pitman arm that goes back and forth. It runs a sickle, which has knife sections. And the sickle, in between the knife section, it has what they call rock guards. So basically what it looks like, your fingers are a good example. Those would represent the rock guards, and the sickle does that motion, back and forth. When the grass comes through and the sickle goes back and forth, that's what cuts the grass. The reel spins. It's ran by a belt on the other side. It spins. These fingers help grab the hay, pull the hay in to the sickle. The sickle cuts it. It gets tossed back in between two rollers. The rollers, they're made out of rubber, and they've got raised and low places, so they kind of do this number when they squeeze together, and that's what they do to the hay. They squeeze it together. They kind of split the stalks. It helps the hay dry out. It shoots the hay out the back. It kind of windrows it and fluffs it up, helps it dry. This conditioner, in today's standards, probably not that sought after, but for somebody as myself, I don't have to put up a lot of hay per year, so it does me just fine. I think I paid $1,200 for this. I bought it, I think, 12 years ago. I did have to replace the wobble box shortly after I bought it, but other than that, it's been pretty worry-free. What I like about it, there's disc mowers now and disc conditioners, and they have what they call turtles on the bottom instead of a sickle. It's a rotating puck, I guess you could call it, with blades on it that come out, and they spin super fast, and you can probably cut twice as fast as I can. I usually cut, when I'm going fast, 5 miles an hour. That's about as fast as I want to go. A disc vine, I think you can cut 12, 15 miles an hour. You can really fly. But for what I do, this is perfect for me. I don't have a lot of money in it. I know people that have disc conditioners and disc cutters, and anytime they have trouble, it costs them thousands of dollars. Mine, if I have trouble, it's hundreds. So that's what I like about this. The most trouble I've had is maybe breaking a knife out of the sickle, which is like a triangular shaped blade. They're pretty easy to change. They're not that expensive. And for what I use this for, it does me just fine. I'm doing hay with older equipment, and I don't have the expense of having loans out on this stuff. It's all paid for. This conditioner has a hydraulic cylinder. It has up and down pressure. To be honest, I really don't think it needs down pressure. What this cylinder does, it raises the head. So if you get into high hay, or if you're done cutting and you're going down the road, you can raise the head up. Here's the locking mechanism. This bar comes down, fits in here. I've got a nail to keep it from coming back up. That locks it. Whenever you're out in the field and you want to go to work, I raise it, raise the cylinder, I raise up the locking bar, and I put the nail under it. That way I can raise the head up and down. And that's basically how the cylinder works on it. What I'm doing here, I'm breaking the field open. Some people like to start with their conditioner on the outside and their tractor in. I like to go the way that I'm going to cut the hay. What I'll do, I'll leave my conditioner pulled in. You pull a rope and it pulls a pin. Allows the conditioner to swing out away from the tractor. I'll do that after I get this first round cut. The purpose of keeping the conditioner in is so that you don't run over a whole lot, you know, of your hay. Because when you run it over, you can see here it mats it down. It's hard to cut it. But I always cut my outside first, and then I keep making my rounds. Then when I'm done with the hay, cutting all of it, I'll come back the opposite way with my conditioner out, and that's when I get the outside part of the hay. This hay should have been cut in June, but I just had so much stuff going on. I had trouble with a baler. I had a bearing get hot, catch my baler almost on fire. Took a while to get the bearing fixed, so it put me behind on this. But it's not the best hay, but it will make hay, and any hay is better than no hay. Now that I've got my first round made, what I will do, I'll pull my pin with a string here. After I got it pulled, I'll let down the head of the conditioner. I'll put it in gear and I'll pull forward, and it will allow the conditioner to slide out where I need it. And I'll get it where I set that pin and I'll be ready to go. saw a doe run out, so there's a good chance she might have a fawn or two out here in this thicker stuff. So I'm always mindful of that, trying to look out for baby deer. just go straight and come back down, drop the head when I come back on this other side. Here's the headlands. You can see they get narrower every time. The reason why I will start raising the head up and then dropping it is because these turns get tighter and tighter, and it's just easier on the U-joints, on the drive shafts, if I just raise it up and make a gradual turn rather than make a sharp turn every time. I'm getting to the point where my path of hay that's left is narrow enough that I'm going to start raising the head, making my turn, and then dropping it here on the headlands. Little strip, it's not very long. That's what will give you a problem with the conditioner. So I think I'm going to try to go in first gear and see if I can get it to cut that even with the rest of the field. And if it's wanting to clog up on me, I'll just raise the header up and I'll cut a little eye. One little strip, so it's not that big of a deal. Right now I am going and I'm going back over it, but I'm cutting the edges that I didn't get there cut when I first started this field. Here we are with freshly cut hayfield. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. I hope it taught you something. Maybe it entertained you. Thanks for watching. I'm Mike. Thank you for watching The Farm Wolf. Have a good day.